So I think it's really important to utilize the bounce when pitching the ball around the greens, especially when you're from the south part of the country and there's a lot of grain and it rains a lot, it's wet. If you use the leading edge, you're going to dig a lot. So a couple of keys to remember about using the bounce when pitching. Number one, in order to expose the bounce, you want to keep your shaft nice and straight, and you want to make sure you turn the club face a little bit open. Okay, so for us right-handed golfers, a little to the right. So shaft a little open, club face a little open, shaft straight up and down. The next thing you're going to do is we're going to, instead of putting the ball position back, we want to get this thing up in the air. So we want to put it center to a little forward. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we push our weight a little forward, but we're not going to shove our hands forward. Okay? So weight forward, pressing into our foot, not our hands going forward, because that's going to expose the leading edge and create dig. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we keep a nice, relaxed, loose grip pressure. We're going to go back and through, and we're just going to try to brush the ground. We're not trying to dig, we're just trying to glide this bottom part across the ground. You have to imagine a nice long flat spot as you go through here, wide flat spot. And when we talk about wide, what we don't want to do is get narrow. So in other words, when we come into the ball, we actually don't want to keep too much of this angle here like we would do on a normal shot where we're trying to hit it far. We actually want to make sure we cut and we lose that angle. So if we start like this with the club shaft with very little angle, when we get back to the ball, we want it to return to almost the same place so that you can use the bounce and slide. Now, a key point in allowing the bounce to go through is as you swing back, staying nice and loose, you're going to hinge the club back, but more importantly, as you go through, you're going to let the club unhinge, return to where it started, and then as it goes through, we want to make sure that you keep the face pointed a little bit towards the sky so that the club can slide, and you're going to use your pivot to allow it to go through. You can see my hands are very passive, so I'm not going like this. I'm allowing the club to go through and keep it pointed to the sky. And you can see you can do this rehearsal, and I see a lot of the tour players do this when they practice. They go back and through, and they use their trail arm, so for a right-handed golfer, right arm, and just practice this here, keeping the club here. You're turning your chest, not using your arms at all, keeping the club face almost in the same position that it started versus using your wrist this way. And you can do that a couple times just to get the feeling of where you want to go. And you can see I'm controlling that with my belt buckle and my sternum pointed towards the target versus keeping my head down and using my wrists. So again, it's okay if once the ball's gone, you start pivoting and you're looking away from the ball. You don't have to keep it down this way. So again, ball a little bit forward, weight forward, handle straight up and down, club face a little open, and we're going to hinge. We're going to pivot through, and we're going to make sure that that club face is pointed towards the sky. Let's see if we can do one. Now you can see I didn't hit that one quite well. I hit a little bit behind it, but because I used the bounce, it still was able to pop up in the air, get over the trouble, and get onto the green. So that's the beauty about using the bounce. Even if you don't hit it as well as you want, like I just did, as you can see I need practice, you could still get away with a lot more than if you were to use the leading edge, and that thing would have dug into the ground, probably would have went about 2 or 3 feet. So next time you're having trouble with your pitches, make sure you try and use the bounce, not the leading edge.